Hello and welcome to Minecraft Levitated. In the last episode, episode 1, we got our feet kind of wet in this mod pack. Now, this mod pack is pretty decent sized from what I've seen, and basically we're trapped in the end. We're trying to get ourselves to the Nether and rebuild, and then eventually to the overworld and do the same. So, to help us along our journey, we have advancements that we can work through. And on the very end of this page, right here, Earth of Hell, bring a capacitor to the Nether and start rebuilding. What was shall be once more. A little punctuation error, I believe, there, but anyway, that's what our end goal is. So there's a lot of mods in this pack, and one thing that I'm very good at is starting to do some grindy stuff, and then next thing I know, I'm, 4 hours into it and forgotten to record. So we're going to try to take our time through this mod pack and mess around with these mods and then teach you guys that don't play modded or haven't played modded kind of how to mess around with these, because if you find this pack interesting enough and you have a copy of Minecraft Java, you too can play along. So we are over here at this little guy right here. And if we look up, well, it says Stygian grass or Stygian grass in the upper corner, but basically our next quest is Gifts of the Gods. A manaless pool ain't going to help you much, but fortunately there's natural pools of mana in the Stygian growth biome. But the liquid form of mana is highly unstable. You might take damage from it, and only basic crafting can be done. You need to find a way to stabilize them, so fill a bucket with mana. Complete. So today we're going to start getting into Botania. Last time we got this mana pool and we did get some living rock, and we're going to start messing around with that. I did show you this book that we got, Basics in Mechanics. We can actually go through here and look at mana manipulation, generating flora, functional flora, natural apparatus, mystical items, baubles and accessories, ender artifacts. That's spelled incorrectly. Anyway, alphomancy, miscellaneous, and then the lexicon index. So we can go through here and figure out Botania pretty well. It's a mod that I haven't messed around with too much. Or, of course, we can just use our little advancements here. So the weird plants named Enbiotic can be found in the Stygian growth biome. They are capable of stabilizing liquid mana and absorb them, turning them into a blue lotus in the process. Tossing the blue lotus in a mana pool releases the stored mana, so craft a blue lotus. So in the last episode, we'll go ahead and place that back, we were chopping a bunch of these guys down, and basically this is why. Because we want those right there. See how many of these we can actually get and how much of this mana is going to go away because of it. Unfortunately, we're going to take a little bit of damage here, but nothing major. Did we get some floating? Or some levitation off of that? I think we did. That's neat. Okay, so we're going to turn all of these into the endbiotics. And basically it uses up a mana every time. So we need to make sure that we throw these guys in actual source blocks. And obviously you can see that this doesn't regenerate. Otherwise it'll just be the endbiotics and not turn into the blue lotus that we want. We might just take a little bit of damage and see if we can't turn all of these into blue lotuses. Because I really don't need the endbiotics for much. Let me back down. And we've got 35. Blue lotus. Perfect. So let's go back over to the house, and I'll show you guys kind of how these work. We got this mana pool last time. We can actually craft this up. It's a fairly easy recipe. It's just 5 living rock here. And I'm going to get this Botania book off because of the little control that it says right there. We can look it up if we hold control in the book. So I'm gonna dump that guy in here because we don't really need it for today. But let's see. I think what we're going to do is potentially just place this guy down right here. And then we're just going to queue all of these in there. And we get the end biotics back, which is really nice. Awesome. So we had 35 of those, and we turned 25 into Blue Lotus, and we have a little bit of mana that we can now mess with, but not a lot. So my goal today is to get to this quest, which we could do now. Craft a Soul Scribe. Tired of killing Enderman? Then this dagger is just for you. And then that gets us to this one. Enderman is capable of infusing iron ore with certain end elements, which means some Endermen might hold a special block in their hands, and they also have a lot more health than regular Endermen. With proper techniques, you manage to extract a brand new metal called end-infused iron. Obtain an end-infused iron. So I think we're gonna pivot from doing this. What is this stuff called? The Floral Fertilizer and the Nature's Compass and the Waystone, and we're going to go straight for this, because I want this for one particular reason. Alright, we gathered up a couple of things, and we've bookmarked these two things right here. So what you can do is you can type something in here, and then left-click off of it, go hover over the item you want, and you can press A to bookmark it over here so you don't always have to look for it in JEI. There's 168 pages here. You can type in things like end iron ore. And if we click off of this, you can click on this and it'll tell you how to get it from the loot fabricator, or you can mine it. You can hover over and press U and it'll tell you the uses where we can turn it into end infused iron chunks. There's other things that we can do with like a painting machine. And then of course if you click on it and hover over, if you left click on it or press R, it'll bring up basically the recipes and the way to get it. Now the reason that we want that infused iron, as you saw, we can turn it into the end chunk, and then right here, right clicking a wormwood plank with a chunk of end infused iron will create a firewood block. And the reason that we want the firewood is we can add the auto smelt modifier to our pickaxe, which basically means any ores that we harvest will be auto smelted. And then if we have luck on our pickaxe like we do here, let's actually take this over to this guy so we can see it a little bit better. We have luck 1 out of 60, and we can put more lapis on this, and that will give us a potential drop chance of more than 1 ingot. It's just like looting, and we have a little bit of lapis from the little bit of mining that we've done. So that is what we're trying to work towards, but before we do that, we need this soul scribe. So this is crafted up with an end knife blade, an end binding, extraterrestrial matter, a mana pearl, and a living wood twig. Now the mana pearl is where the mana would come in play. We just drop an ender pearl into a mana pool with this much mana in it, and it becomes a mana pearl. Luckily for us, we've got a couple of them. The living wood twig we get from living wood. Now living wood is where the pure daisy comes into play. We can place any log around a pure daisy and that'll give us living wood. So we have our pure daisy here. So we're going to plant that down and grab ourselves a little bit of these wormwood logs, which we haven't used or made a ton of. And this takes about a minute, 90 seconds, somewhere in there, and then we can get some of this living wood. Now while that is cooking up, we're going to get this end knife blade and the end binding. So we have a binding pattern, and if we go over here, it looks like we're going to need more patterns. Well, we can put this in here, and we can get 1 binding from that. Put those in there, and hopefully I've got some logs just chilling, or some wood. Doesn't look like it, so we'll get this guy out. Any sticks in there? Nope. So we're going to need to make some more blank patterns, which is a pretty easy crafting recipe to get us 4 blank patterns, and we're going to need to make ourselves a knife blade. So, sword pattern, knife blade pattern. An endermite spawned in when this turned into the living wood. That is interesting. So now we have the knife blade. Made that little pattern, no big deal. We can leave the patterns in there, the stencils in here, and we built this pattern chest just so we can store these patterns a little bit easier. So now let's take our hatchet and break some of this living wood. Perfect. And to craft up a living wood twig is simply like that. We get 1 living wood twig per 2 living wood. We can craft those into living wood planks, which look really nice. Anyway, let's craft up this soul scribe now that we have everything needed for it. So this thing has an attack damage of 6. It's not terrible. This thing has a 7 attack damage. It's the same attack damage as an iron sword, but this does more damage to those endermen that actually are holding end-infused iron. So what I want to do, we only have 3 pieces, 3 logs. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go out, we're going to find an enderman holding the end-infused iron after I get some blocks so I can be cheaty about this. And then we are going to also chop down some more trees because we need a lot more wood. Actually, not too far away from the base, there is an enderman right there that is holding exactly what we need. So we're going to look at him, make him mad. We're going to hide in our little hole, and hopefully he comes around. I hear him. There he is. So these guys have 60 hearts, and this does 10 hearts of damage, which isn't too bad, but that is definitely a lot more health than your standard enderman. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a few pieces of this. I know that we need, 3 pieces? 2 or 3 pieces to make an axe head, and then we're going to have to do some fancy bits for our pickaxe, so that when we mine this stuff, instead of getting the ore form, we actually get the ingots, and then we don't have to process it. Now, I know that we can double and triple our ores eventually, but for early game, this is going to make mining for us a lot easier. So, time to do some Enderman hunting. Well, I got 4 pieces from our little excavation there, so if we just queue them into the mana pool, at the cost of a little bit of mana, we get these end-infused iron chunks. And then if we place down wood like so, we can right-click them to turn this into firewood, mine this guy up. Very nice indeed. And then, we got to figure this out. Do I want to make a whole new pickaxe head, which gives us only the level of stone mining-wise? Mining speed is 6. Our mining speed is 5.12 here. I think the lower the number, the better it is. But this has a mining level of obsidian. Let's see. Let's make ourselves a sharpening kit. Combine with a flint and upgrade your tool to the materials mining level. I don't think that's what we want to do. I think we want to make a new pickaxe head. Which does require 4. No, it should. There we go. It only requires 2. So if we make ourselves a new pickaxe, or just take this one, I think we can swap the head out. It changes the mining level to stone. We keep the higher durability, but we have the auto smelt capability. And as I was talking before, if we get this iron ore and we mine it, oh boy, that's going to take forever. Let's see. I have give me a sec. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to make a little pivot real quick to upgrade our pickaxe. We need to make this squeezer so we can turn cobblestone into gravel, and then of course gravel into flint. So this requires a little bit of iron, and some wood, which should not be too hard for us because of what we found in the in-city. So let us go over to our crafting table. We'll make 1 iron block. We will then craft up a little bit of planks. And then we will craft up this squeezer here. I'm missing 2 sticks. No problem. And squeezer. Done. Perfect. So the way we get cobblestone now, if we look at this, is from the pure daisy. We can put endstone around the pure daisy, and we can turn that into cobblestone, just like we turned the wood into living wood. So we're going to let that cook up, and then we're going to place this squeezer down. Now, if you guys remember Sky Factory, this thing needs a redstone pulse to reset after we've squeezed items from it. So we're going to place down a little pressure plate here, and basically we put items in here, and then we jump on it. And once it squeezes, it'll push the item out, and then we can step on the pressure plate to return it to the way it was before and put more cobblestone in it. And if we want a guaranteed flint, we could craft up 3 gravel. But I think we're just going to go ahead and place our gravel down and break it. While that's cooking up, what I want to do is get a little bit of obsidian, and we can make a sharpening kit out of obsidian. So I'm not sure. There we go. It just takes 2. Once this is gray like this, we should be able to get it. I don't know why it's goofing off like that, but this guy right here is going to upgrade our pickaxe substantially. And, well, what is this going to turn into? Cobblestone? Oh, that's a long-winded way. We have the auto-smelt feature, so we automatically get stone, which is actually kind of nice because the living rock is the same way as the stone. Or, I'm sorry, as the living wood. So, if we place stone right here, it'll turn it into the living stone. So, now we're going to break this by hand until we get a flint. Well, that didn't take too long, so we'll come over here to our tool station. We will throw our pickaxe in. We will throw our upgrade kit and a piece of flint. And now this has a mining level of cobalt, which is really, really nice. So this is a pretty decent little pickaxe. The only unfortunate thing is when we mine this stuff, it's going to turn it into stone. So we may need to get just a basic pickaxe to mine the cobblestone until we can actually create cobblestone. But now that mines a lot faster. So we have 20 pieces of iron here. So let us go ahead and place down the rest of this, and we're going to mine this and go ahead and smelt it. This way we don't have to run it through the furnace at the cost of fuel. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more lapis to this, and then we are going to also process probably the rest of these ores here, including the copper. Now, the unfortunate thing that I did with my pickaxe here was I changed the head to the firewood to get this auto smelt, and we smelted all of our ingots down just by mining them. And if you remember, we had like 4 lead ingots, and now we have 6. I mean, this does pretty good. We had like 51 tin ingots, so now we have 74 here. And I can't remember how much copper is, like 24. We got 39 ingots, so it's working really well. But this thing can only be repaired with firewood sharpening kits. Now, we can do this, I believe, in our crafting table in our inventory and completely repair this thing. So we're going to need to get our hands on some firewood, but one thing we can do to up the durability, since we have 3 modifiers, is we can put a diamond on it, and it goes from 617 durability to 1,117. So this is definitely worth spending one of our diamonds. Now, we will go ahead and put all of these different ingots and stuff away. We are going to have to get ourselves more firewood, and that's not a big problem. I know that one thing that we cannot do in here is it charcoal? So charcoal you can't make it in smelting. It has to be made with this compressed sawdust. And this we get from many different ways, and that's not important. So we can't just smelt logs to get fuel. We have to do it in this coke oven, and that's a whole nother thing. I was looking at getting more fuel, but we're sitting pretty good on coal when we do need to start smelting things in this furnace, which we will at some point need to be smelting up some cobblestone and stuff like that if we don't want to mine it with our pickaxe. Now, I thought I had... Yeah, there they are. I was going to say, I thought I had a little bit more ingots I want to throw in here. So taking a look at our quest book here, I think this is the thing that we need to get to next. Mana has many special properties like turning Stygian grass into vivid grass or calcifying chorus flowers into bone blocks. That means you can create flowers now. Hooray! Craft Floral Fertilizer. So we went ahead and bookmarked it. And basically Floral Fertilizer is any kind of dye with a bone meal and get you 1 Floral Fertilizer. This dye is made with any of the Botania flowers or a rose bush with a pestle and mortar, and this is simply a bowl, wood, and sticks. So let's go ahead and get out these guys, and then we will go ahead and make ourselves some typical bowls. There we go, and this should be like this and like that. Yep, perfect. So there's a pestle and mortar, and I don't know why those sometimes do that. We'll throw those in there and that in there. And those, we don't really need them. But now what we can do is we can take one of these mystical flowers here. We can take it in our inventory and turn it into petals. And then you can take this petal and you can turn it into floral white powder. I don't remember if I showed this in the last episode, but we can actually plant these down and use bone meal on them. And then shear them. I have my shears right here. And that'll get us... a tall flower and an easy way to duplicate these flowers so we don't have to go out searching for them. Now, one thing I did do, and it was kind of smart, is I set up this chorus flower right here. My experiences with a chorus flower farm in regular Minecraft has aided me in creating this. So we'll plant this guy down. It does give us 2 chorus flowers, and that's enough to at least get us started. So basically what we do with these is we come down here into our little base area for now. And we can drop them in here, I believe. Ooh, do I not have enough mana? Okay, so press U on that. Oh, it's dropping them in regular mana to get bone blocks. This is not using it this way. It's back out at our pool, which is actually quite conveniently located if we don't fall down. It's just over that way, just a little bit. So let me get over there, and I'll be back. So this should be similar to the N-biotics, where if we dump one of these in there, it'll take a minute to change, but it's going to be... Oh, that's neat. It turns into a bone block, and then we can mine these up, and this will give us 9 bone meal each. Don't really care about the damage too much. Perfect. 9 bone meal. Excellent. Let me show you the flowers. So if you take these petals and you place them down, they kind of glimmer like that. You can barely see them, but they do have a hitbox. 1 bone meal. 1 shear. And now we can take this and turn this into 4 petals. So we're going to take these 4 petals with our pestle and mortar, and we're going to create our 4 floral white powder. And we come over here, and it doesn't, this is a shapeless craft. It does not matter how we put them in there. It just has to be 4 of these. And it can also be any color. It doesn't have to be all the same. So we have purple, we have pink, we have yellow, we have white, and we have orange. So we do want to try to get all of the colors. There is 16, just like with Minecraft, regular Minecraft. Let's get rid of this pure daisy. And this should give us roughly 4 flowers. Looks like we got a red, another white, and another purple. So red is what we got. We already have these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use this purple one. Actually, I'll show you guys that it does not matter. Because we have extras of these, we won't do the little cheaty plant. Put this in there with the pestle and mortar. Good to go. Over here, 2 of these, 2 of these, and some bone meal, and we have a floral fertilizer. And this time looks like we got 2 green, and we got a cyan. Nice. I'm not sure exactly how many of these we're going to need as far as the colors go, but it's definitely going to be worth us growing some more of these flowers. So our next advancement really is this guy right here. The Stygian Acid is found in an acidic plains biome, sure is harmful, but with proper tinkering it can be purified into water. This is not in the overworld, so infinite water does not, or this is not the overworld, so infinite water doesn't come easy, I'm afraid. So we need to get a bucket of acid. And lucky for us, if we actually look at our journey map, which we haven't done in a while, we're staying right here inside of this little house, and this biome right here, can I go? Let's see. There, oh, let me zoom out. Right here, this biome right here is an acid plains, and I have one right over here as well, so we can go get ourselves some acid, but before we do that, we should look at, I think it's called a portable, no, it's a, we need to do at thermal, so you can hit at, and this will give you the thermal foundation mod, and this is all the things that it has to offer. Reservoir, this is what we need. It's some copper, it's some tin, it's a bucket, and a redstone servo. So we need a little bit of redstone, and these things I think by default can carry 10 buckets. And yeah, we don't have enough to upgrade this into the hardened version because Invar requires some serious smelting. It requires nickel, and I don't think we can get nickel. It's found in the nether, so yeah, if we get one of these, it's basically 10 buckets, and we can get ourselves a few more, or a little bit more acid than just one bucket, which we're going to need. So lucky for us, redstone actually does spawn in the end. So you can click on this or hit U for usage, R for recipes, and it will tell you right here, World Gen, the end, and this is a little bar graph of what Y levels it spawns at, and it's about Y level 33, 32 that it spawns the best. And then we don't, a 0% chance at Y level up till like 10, and then after Y level 40, no spawns, but we have ourselves plenty of, what do you call it? Plenty of redstone. Let's see. Let's just go at thermal. It was called a reservoir? Yeah. So we need this guy, which we have plenty of things for. You guys can see we got a fair amount of iron. We got a little over a stack. We got a little bit of tin, a little bit of lead, a little bit of copper on our little journey. But this guy now holds 10 buckets, and we're going to go ahead and make a second one of these. Because I have the 2 buckets. And then I am going to go ahead and make an actual bucket because I think we need a bucket, not just a reservoir of materials. Now the other thing that we did is we got some more lapis so we can actually go ahead and put this on our pickaxe to get ourselves hopefully to luck 2. There we go. Luck 2, we'll go ahead and just put it all on there. So basically that's the same as Fortune 2. You see it down at the bottom under Hold Shift for stats. It kind of goes away and then it's right there by modifier where it says Fortune 2. So luck is basically like Fortune or looting. Looting is the other one. So now that we've got all of this stuff, I think it's time to go over to the acid plate biome after we dump our inventory. Alright, so we're just a little ways away from the base, and this is that Stygian Acid they want us to pick up. It does spawn in pools like this, and we can collect a little bit of this. As I said, we don't need a ton of it, but we are going to need to make some water. Now, basically what I did is I ventured out this way, and then I ender pearled across here, and I saw this guy, so we made it to the top of that. It's kind of weird it didn't generate in. I just cheaty poled my way up there. We went to this house, and I think there was another one right over there, right in front of me. And we found some cool stuff. We found some emeralds. We found this mana steel chest plate, which is just iron in a mana pool. We found a saddle. We found some more mystical petals. We did kill some endermen with this end-infused iron. What else did we get? That's about it. We got some capacitors that'll come into play next time, and we did find 2 more brewing stands. So now, it is time to go home. It's time to go home and show you guys what this acid basically does. And this is really hard to traverse, even for me. Anyway, I'll meet you back at the house. It's just over these little mountains. We could have went to this little, before I cut, we could have went to this guy here. It's like a volcano, and the acid spews up in the middle, but I didn't want to do that. So, yep, see you at the house. Alright, so a couple of things. We could take this pickaxe, and we could throw an emerald on it using up another modifier, and would bring us up from 1100 durability to 1425, and I think that's going to be a smart thing to do. Excuse me, another thing that we could do, I believe, is put redstone on it, and it ups our mining speed. Let's see, I can't. So haste right here, and makes this a little bit faster when mining. So this thing is getting a lot of different modifiers on it, and of course, as we use it, right now you can see right under it says firewood pickaxe, level comfortable, and then XP 477 out of 1,000. That's basically its experience, and it'll level up, and we can add more modifiers to it. So that's really nice. We did find these black lotuses, which we can put into our mana pool as mana. And then I had this Tome of Origin when we first spawned in. And this says right click to set your spawn point. So we're going to set our spawn point inside the base, so if and when we die, with doing something silly like that, we can be right back here. I don't know why I still have these on me. Let's see, what else? So now it's time to take this pure daisy, and I know that we can kind of do this. I need a piece of Stygian grass, which is the stuff I am standing on. Aha! Or what I'm standing on is vivid grass. So let's take this Stygian grass over to our mana pool to turn this into some vivid grass so we can place down our pure daisy. And the mana pool should be right here. Takes a little second. There we go. And what we're going to do with this guy is we're going to come back down here. I guess out the back. Ooh. We've got some iron ore. It's really, really hard to see up against the end stone like that. So anyway, what I'm thinking is we're going to dig out a little hole here. And right in the center is where we're going to place this vivid grass. We're going to dig out these guys here. And take the end stone for ourselves. And actually, I messed that up. We're going to need to do something like this. And then this will need to be cut off like that. And that'll need to be cut off like that. So now we can throw our acid in here. And how do I get this out? I thought it was a shift. Okay, let me figure that out. Okay, so I just had to figure out the keybind, and it's V. for us to place these guys down. And now we can place our pure daisy, and as you can see, some particles start happening. I think what we're going to end up doing is probably opening this guy up. And as we don't really use the top floor, we can get rid of these stairs if we need to and come in and out of the house. Actually, it's a too wide gap, so it would be here. Now, we need to pay attention when these guys turn into ice, because if we look at water... Actually, let's look at ice. Ice is made with Stygian Acid around a pure daisy, and if we leave it for too long, it will actually turn from ice into packed ice, and we want to break this with our hand to turn it into water and then collect it with our reservoir. So, let's wait for that to happen. And we kind of caught it, but that turned into water, and of course the end stone that we placed down turned into cobblestone, which is no big deal. So now we've got 4 buckets of water, and as the quest book kind of alluded, if we do something like this, and I'll take that, and we press V to empty, and we put 1 water here and 1 water here, you can kind of see they're still flowing. So we can't create a infinite water source like we can in the overworld, but this water is going to come in handy for what we're going to kind of work towards next, which is the Petal Apothecary. This Petal Apothecary is going to help you create more magic flowers to aid you on your journey, but you might need some seeds to start with. Eventually the green ones, but for now some purple ones should work, so we need to craft up a Petal Apothecary. That is this guy right here. It looks like it's just some end stones, some purple slabs, and then 1 mystical petal. And I think we are short on 1 purple block. Let's see. Let's throw that back in there, and actually, if we paid a little bit of attention while we were coming in and out of this house, we should have some purple slabs right here. So we're just going to go ahead and nab up a couple of our own little building blocks to make this Petal Apothecary. We need 1 petal seed, or petal, which we have right here. Perfect. Missing end stone. Ah. It's because I have these, not this. Bam. Advancement made, the 4th dimension, birthing pond. Perfect. So this guy is where the water is going to come in because we can make flowers in this. We can make pasture seeds, the alchemy catalyst, things like that, and eventually we're going to get in here to string and this clayconia, which is what I'm really trying to work towards as soon as possible, because this is going to create clay for us. So right here, the end might lack tons of required resources, but it seems like crafting an alchemy catalyst is still possible. Try to explore some end ships and see what you can find. Craft an alchemy catalyst. So we kind of looked at this alchemy catalyst. Yeah, right here. We're going to bookmark this so we don't have to keep looking it up. So it's some living rock, some gold, a mana pearl, and 2 brewing stands, which we have the living rock, we have some gold, we have a mana pearl, and we have some brewing stands. Nice. So this guy should be relatively easy for us to craft. Now this is moving us in the direction of getting feathers. Right here, a pasture seed, string, and then the clayconia. So the alchemy catalyst, the way it works is we can take this and place it underneath the mana pool here, and we can do different things with it and make different things with it. So we can turn different flowers into different flowers. We can turn rotten flesh into leather. We can turn dark wood into oak wood. Saplings can be changed. Let's see. Stone bricks. We can turn snow straight into ice. We can turn vines into lily pads and vice versa. We can change between all the fish. We can turn seeds, cocoa beans into seeds. There's a whole little list of things to get to melon seeds. Blaze rod into netherwort. We already used... Or no, actually we didn't. We looked at this, though. The flint into gunpowder. Wool into string. A lot of different things. We looked at this one right here, the cactus. Glowstone into redstone. Right here, cobblestone into sand. That is a good one. We can craft our bricks back down into smelted bricks. It's really nice. Dirt into coarse dirt. Turn the different stones. Yeah, you guys get the idea. So this thing's going to be really, really handy for us to have. But not always underneath the mana pools. Sometimes we're going to need to move this thing away when doing basic stuff. Yep. So, Pasture Seed. That's our next thing. Pasture Seed. How is this created? So we need to get grass into the mana pool. Grass is either a dead bush or grass with the Conjuration Catalyst. Unfortunately, it drops from the fake overworld, but this doesn't mean anything to us. We got the Void Miners. So a dead bush, oh, we can get a dead bush. So we need a drying rack with a sapling to get a dead bush, and then we can use that to turn into grass for our pasture seed. Okay, so a drying rack is relatively easy, if memory serves me correctly. Should be... is it slabs? Ooh. Drying rack. It's just slabs. So, the wormwood does not come in slabs. How about... wisdom saplings. Those come in slabs, so we can make it out of wisdom wood, which I believe... So here's a neat little trick. If you left click this, we can type in wisdom. We have a wisdom sapling here, which is nice. And we have wisdom wood trapdoors that we found, but we have no other wisdom wood. So we're going to need to grow this sapling with some bone meal, and hopefully this thing will grow on endstone. If not, I did pick myself up some dirt. So let me get this going. I'm going to get a drying rack, and we are going to dry up one of these wormwood saplings to get us the dead bush. So we crafted up this Petal Apothecary, and we're waiting for this sapling to dry. It does take some time. And I'm going to show you guys what this basically is used for. So I want to make another pure daisy. Now this is made in the Petal Apothecary with 4 white petals. So we need to place in some wood. We need to place in 4 white petals by dropping them in there. And then it needs a seed. So if we drop this in seed, bam, we've got another pure daisy. And basically the in seed I got from breaking this end grass. I believe that's where I got it from. I only have one, so I really don't know if this is where I got it from. Yeah, there's one right there that popped into my inventory. There's another one. So, that's how we can get the seeds to make these different flowers. And there's a lot of different ones that we can make, but this pure daisy is kind of the most important, as this is how we make... living rock and living wood, and I want to go ahead and make myself a little bit more cobblestone in this process. Okay, the dead bush is done, but there was something I noticed when making more stone or cobblestone. If we mine this, you can see that our luck actually has to affect that. So if we were to take one of these guys, and obviously this isn't going to work because... we can't mine cobblestone with the pickaxe. It automatically smelts it. But I'm wondering if it'll work with the gravel. Okay. Let's get centered up on this thing. Bounce a little bit. Give me gravel. Because I've been breaking this thing with my hand. Nope, it's going to turn it into flint because of the fortune. Interesting. Anyway, dead bush acquired. Now we have a piece of grass. We should be able to turn that without the Alchemy Catalyst underneath of it. We should be able to turn that into a Pasture Seed. Awesome. So if memory serves me correctly, basically what a Pasture Seed is going to do, and we don't have a lot of room down by our little house here, so let's dig out a little area. We're probably going to need to make some torches as well. So let me do that real quick. Anyway, the luck on the pickaxe actually has gotten me more stone than what I've actually crafted up, so that's a little bit of a bug. And the same thing with endstone. I'm getting a lot of that. So I am curious if it would work for something like sand that doesn't break down into flint. So let me get some torches and some coal, and this way we can light this place up. Okay, so what I believe we can do is we can take this Pasture Seed and right-click it onto the dirt, and exactly as I thought, it's going to turn into grass, and because we have this pretty well lit up, it's going to spread out in a fairly decent manner. So while that's going on, that's how we can get to our hemp seeds right here. Industrial hemp is a great source of string. Since there is no animals in sight, obtain string. So basically what we have to do is bone meal this, and we will get Minecraft grass. And then we break this with our fist. We'll get some regular seeds. We'll break our own torches because that's what we do. And unfortunately no hemp there. There we go. There's a hemp seed. There's another one. Perfect. So what we can do with this is obviously we're going to need to make a hoe. And we're going to need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're just going to make your standardized iron hoe. And we should be able to utilize our water source, which we're going to go ahead and place in the center here, just for us to grow crops. Now, these guys can be bone mealed, and they grow too tall, and you just break the tops of them. And this way they stay planted, and you get this industrial hemp fiber. You can use that. 3 pieces will get you 1 piece of string. And there, that quest is complete. Now, we've been going for quite a bit today. I'm not even sure how far we are in the episode, but getting to the Clayconia is what I wanted to do, and we're close. The only thing is we have to do some, this right here with the runic altar. We have to make this rune. So we're going to have to get into all kinds of things with some mana generation, or potentially just stealing a absolute ton of mana and throwing it over into here off of that pool up there, which is going to render that pool pretty much useless. And yeah, we're going to have to get a mana spreader and all kinds of stuff, and I think we're going to dig further into this area. That's not what I wanted to do. Can we right click these? Yeah, if they're ready, we surely can. They do hurt you though. Anywho, that's going to do it for me today, guys. I do apologize for the longer episode. We wanted to get a bunch of stuff done. This armor looks ridiculous. When we come back next time, we're going to make ourselves that Clayconia. And the reason for that, if you guys watched my Sky Factory 4 series, you'll know all about these bonsai pots and then the hopping bonsai. We can plant trees and they can pretty much just grow for us, collecting wood and stuff, and we don't have to do it. So yep, we're going to make some living wood and stuff off of camera and get ready for the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, if you did, please leave a like. Make sure to smash that notification bell so you know when videos like this and Truly Bedrock go up. Check the description down below for all of the different ways to follow me, including joining my Discord. And I will see you guys on the next one.